Hi, boys and girls. We're now on to equivalent fractions, and this series of instructions is going to include three different videos. The first video is going to explain the relationship between equivalent fractions using pictures. The second video is going to be using equations to explain the relationship between equivalent fractions. And then the third video will show the relationship of equivalent fractions on a number line. So let's go ahead and look at our pictures that we have here. We have three bars. And the first bar, pink, is cut up into halves. Your second light blue bar is cut up into fourths, and our third yellow one is cut up into eighths. Now, if we remember, a fraction actually is a part colored in out of the whole entire figure. If you want to know the definition of an equivalent fraction, an equivalent fraction names the same parts of a whole. And the parts need to be equal, hence equivalent fraction, the root word being equi means equal. Finding equivalent fractions does not change the side of the part, it only changes how the part is named. So let's go ahead now, take our bars, and we're going to create a fraction out of it, right, by covering up portions of it. So I'm going to cover up one of the halves, I'm going to cover up 2/4, and then I'm going to cover up 4/8. So now if we create a fraction, we write the fraction that represents each one of those bars. The top one for the pink bar would be, we have 1/2 colored in out of 2 halves, so that would be 1/2. For the light blue one, we've got 2 out of the 4 are colored in, so that would be 2/4. And then for the bottom yellow bar, we've got 8 of them, but we've got 4 parts colored in out of 8 total, so that would be 4/8. Now, since the same amount of space is colored in for each one of them, each one of these fractions are equivalent fractions because it represents the same amount of space colored in out of the same whole. Okay, so those are all equivalent, but what about other fractions? Well, if we were to put up a 4th bar up here, and we were to put up, this is cut into thirds. So same amount of space. If you see the size of the bar is the same as those other 3 bars, it's now cut up into 3 parts. So let's shade in one of those parts. So then the fraction that would represent the dark blue bar would be 1/3. Now, if you look at that, does the same amount of space shaded in match the other 3? No, it doesn't. So then that means 1/3 is not an equivalent fraction for any one of those 3 fractions above. So the same amount of space needs to be colored in order for them to be in order for the fractions to be considered equivalent. Thank you.